First time in Banks's Brewery?
It is my first time in Banks's. I think it's my first tour of a brewery.
Good
I've had a
choice.
few whiskey distilleries, but the first time in a brewery, I think.
Workplace chaplaincy is a chance for the church to get out beyond its walls, to meet people in their everyday situations, to share the high and low points of life, to bring some sense of perspective, to encourage people.
It's the white stuff which is the starch.
Yeah.
And that sort of contains the natural enzymes.
Yeah.
And it's those Well, I've been fortunate in my 40 years at the brewery. I've worked with 3 chaplains. And I think what the chaplain brings is a different perspective on life for the guys at the brewery.
Bill would sort of come in weekly to the lab and sort of really enjoyed sort of telling him how my day was going, finding out where he'd sort of visited as well. He'd always be so sort of keen on sort of understanding what I was doing at the time.
The ability to be able to speak to somebody who is totally independent of the business and can give an independent perspective on life, I think for me personally has been vitally important.
He's really sort of part of the fabric, and without one sort of thread, that fabric can quickly sort of come undone.
When times have been difficult, when we perhaps have had a little bit of an industrial relations issue, unfortunately we tend not to have many of those, but when we have had an issue, it's been very useful for me to go to the chaplain and say, look, what do you think about this? Am I being totally pig-headed, or is the business being totally pig-headed?
When St Paul says, slaves should work hard even when they're not being watched,
Yeah, it is.
and masters should treat the slave fairly.
Absolutely.
So you kind of bring that in the 21st century,
Absolutely.
and you'll find people here will put in do that little bit extra.
Yeah.
That's not to say there aren't problems.
Well, you might argue that he's the best shop steward we've got because he's totally independent and can actually, at various times, can see all different aspects of what's going on. And the guys undoubtedly will talk to Bill about things that they would never talk to me about. And I know Bill will never break a confidence, and they will talk to him from that perspective. So they have no fear about talk. And Bill will relay that back in different guises.
If you're ever to face a crisis, he would be there. It's nice to have somebody that's coming round, unrelated to your sort of day-to-day work, that you can speak to and sort of get a different perspective.
And they act as a sounding board, and that sounding board can be very, very useful to somebody like me who has to make, at times, some very difficult decisions.
He's an excellent ambassador for the chaplaincy.
We've had a great visit. It's been wonderful to see Bill's chaplaincy presence here and the contribution that makes to making faith something that people can access in the workplace. So, Bill, thanks ever so much for the tour. It's been a great day. Let me buy you a pint. What's your favourite beer?
Cider.